Hey Tim, this is the iPhone 6S you sent me. You want me to do Wi-Fi IC swap on, and so we're going to start here with already got the foam off. We put on the board holder. This is not going to be for anybody else watching this video. This is not an extensive how-to. This is a request from a friend that wanted to see my process on how to do these. So I'm just going to do the IC swap, my process on that. I'm going to do the programming later for the NAND to unlock the Wi-Fi, and I've already got another Wi-Fi IC reballed. I reballed this with the Sunshine X solder paste, which is made for the iPhone X sandwich boards. So I just use a regular stencil, reball them, and then what I do is I got a piece of sandpaper, and this is 1000 grit, and so whenever I get done, I will run let's turn my IC upside down and kind of run it across a couple times, and I want to make sure that all of my balls are actually making contact and hit the sandpaper, so that I know that they're all flat, they're all making contact, and when I put it on the board, they'll all make contact with the board. So that's just another little thing that I do to make sure that I don't have any low balls. I can visually see whether I've got balls that don't touch. In this case, they're not balls, they're kind of oblong sort of balls, I guess. So we're going to start with removing the underfill, and I'm going to use this is a Quan Lee tool, and we're going to put about 300C on here and go around this, remove all the underfill. Fortunately, this one here doesn't have a whole lot. Now the only thing with using this Quan Lee tool here is your EEPROM right here, sometimes it gets really tight, and so when there's a lot of underfill here, it's pretty easy to damage this. So I also have another one, and I'm not sure what brand this is. It says number 4. I've been looking for some more of these because this one's pretty bent up, but it's a lot thinner, and I can't find any more of these, so I just keep having to use the same one over and over and over. It is really flexible, which is bad whenever you get somewhere where you got a lot of underfill you're trying to get out, but when you get in really tight areas like this, it works really well, and that's about the only time I use it anymore, because it is so bent I don't want to damage it anymore. So that's where I use that, and then we're going to use another tool here to come up under our IC when we start heating it, and this is what I'm actually going to use to raise the IC. So we're going to start. First thing I want to do is, usually I run I guess it's a 4mm tip on my hot air, and we're going to change right now to a 6mm tip, and that's what I use on all the larger ICs. Anytime you're doing a larger IC, you want to get, you really want your hot air nozzle to be about the same size as the IC that you're working on. This is the biggest one I've got. This is what I've used. Works well. So I do know for a fact that small one will not work well on this particular application, or a NAND or something like that, but the 6mm works pretty good. So I'm going to run on my Heiko FR802. Right now we're going to run 300C. I'm going to run max airflow, which could be a whole lot different on like a unit like a Quick. I've got a Quick. Right now I'm at my house, in my lab at my house, and I have a Quick in my office, or my store. The temperature seems about the same, but the airflow is definitely different. On my Heiko, on full air flow, I would equate it to about 80 on the quick. So we're going to go, like I said, 300C right now. We're going to clean underfill around the IC. And what I do is I put my hot air right on top of the IC, and I don't go around in a motion, circular motion or anything. I just go right on top of the IC, and that's where I leave it the whole time when I'm cleaning underfill. I may kind of bring it off to the edge to where the hot air blows where the underfill's at. And this one is really, like I said, it doesn't have a lot of underfill on it compared to several I've worked on. And most of the time, this right here is almost a solid gap where the underfill's at. So this one's going to be really, really easy. And I always do the Wi-Fi ICs on my board holder because it holds the board really sturdy. So, like I said, there's not very much underfill at all on this. So now we're going to raise our temperature to about, I'm going to go to about 450, and that's about 30 degrees Celsius higher than what I normally do VGA work at. Normally I work at 420, but to remove this IC I'm going to go to 450, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to be directly on my IC, so I'm not going to be distributing my heat around it. So I'm going to go directly on my IC. I'm going to focus my heat at the top right now, and I'm going to keep it here until either some solder balls come out or I can get my tool under this IC. And I will kind of come down towards the bottom a little bit, towards the middle of the IC. So now we're under it. Now we're going to heat up, and we're just going to twist very lightly. Alright, so that's off of there. Alright, so all our pads are still good. Everything's good. So we're going to add some flux. Let me look at my camera, see if I'm in, yeah, I'm in field of view, so we're good. Add flux, we're going to add lidded solder. Usually these pads right down here are really easy to pull if you're not careful. You just want to be careful around that EEPROM. You don't want to damage that thing. Alright, so now we're going to pull some solder off with some wick. A lot of people don't like wick, but I use wick. We're going to get the majority of this solder off here. I'm not really worried about getting it all yet. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to about 300C. on my hot air. And then I've got this tool here, which is a piece of circuit board that is made to remove underfill. So what we're going to do is just heat the underfill up, take this tool, and just knock the underfill right off. And it's pretty safe. Oh shit, I knocked that off. Let's fix that. This is pretty safe around pads. Usually you don't have any problems pulling pads or anything using this tool. Let's go back and put this cap on and knocked off. Tweezers, where at? So let's put this dude back down here. I'm probably going to try to stick him on there with just my iron for right now, because I got a big tip on there. We'll catch him up later with hot air. We're just going to let him sit right there right now. It's a lot easier to get off when it's warm. Alright. We'll do a final cleanup later. We just got our surface ready. And whenever I start putting heat on it, hopefully they'll pull this cap over here back in line where it needs to be at. And before I started, I did put a little indicator on my board of where the IC goes. We'll put a light layer of flux down. It's our bad IC. Where did I go with our good IC? Good IC. So now when I put it back down, because the solder is a little bit lower melt, I'm going to run 400C full air on my unit. And now we're going to go in a circular motion. All the other components are on there with a higher melt temperature solder, so we're pretty safe using this temperature in a circular motion like this. I didn't notice if this little dude went down where he was supposed to go. We'll add a little bit more flux. And then we'll heat it up one more time. That's down. Let's check our little dude here. See a little piece of trash here next to him. Alright, he's done our good. So that is it. We're back on there. We'll clean it up a little bit. We're going to let it cool just a second. Oh, we got our videos going on. Damn, not 10 minutes. Shit. Shouldn't take that long. Clean it up while it's still warm. That'll pull most of the flux off of it. You can see I had some pretty good sized solder balls on there because we can see under the IC and we can see that it's contacted the pads good. Last thing is just check, make sure we don't have a short. Some of these ICs I have purchased came to us shorted whenever we got them, so let's just see. And we're good. Actually powered up. Let's see. 100 milliamps. 190, 100, 120, 170, 190, 180, 200, 300. Back to 2. Should see about 4 here in a second. Alright, we're at 4. So we're good. We're at 1.5 amps now, so the board's booting. We just need to program the NAND on it and we'll be good to go. So there you go, Tim. I hope this helps you see at least the process I use to do them. So any questions, let me know, buddy. Appreciate it.